This is the newest star of the new Bond movie, the Aston Martin DB10. Even if you're only casually acquainted with the half-century-old spy series, you probably know that Bond and Aston are inseparable.
And I suppose that's completely inconspicuous.
Sure, there have been a few famous other 007 cars in the middle, like Roger Moore's Lotus Esprit submarine or Pierce Brosnan's Z3, but it's really Aston that started it all. You might even be able to picture it in your head right now, an impossibly dapper Sean Connery burning through the British countryside in a silver DB5, casually popping open the shift knob with the eject button hidden inside. That car is an icon. The DB10 looks beautiful. It looks the part of a true Bond car. But can it be as legendary as that DB5 was? I came out to LA to drive it and find out for myself. So Matt, tell me about the DB10 and what makes it so different for Aston Martin.
Well, I mean, it makes the first big difference, of course, it was a car created especially for Bond, which is, whilst there have been Astons in Bond movies before, you've perhaps not seen one where we've created the car bespoke just for Bond. So there's one big difference, but as well as you seeing it in the movie and people hopefully liking it, it lays the foundation for the Astons that you will see in the next generation of cars that will come.
The DB10 gracefully departs from the designs of the cars made before it, present-day models like the Vanquish, the Vantage, and the DB9, but it still looks uniquely Aston.
The face of DB10, it was inspired by a shark face. The nose is the farthest most point in the car, which is quite an unusual design trait. Perhaps gives it a slightly more aggressive look than you would normally see on an Aston Martin, but very Bond. The initial discussions were sort of September last year. We delivered the first car in April of this year.
Wow.
So 6 months, and that was from a sketch to a final car. We build our cars in a very unique way. We hand make all of our sports cars. We don't use robotics, and we still use clay modelling.
As much as the DB10 is a remade DB5 for the modern era, it's also entirely a car of its own. Just like Daniel Craig is a very different Bond than Connery was. Connery's car was smooth like the man himself. Craig's ride is sharp and aggressive. And even though the DB10 was custom made for Spectre, there are only 10 in existence. Is anybody going to be able to own one of these 10?
DB10 was built just for Bond, so just the 10 examples. One car will go to auction.
It goes without saying that a real-life Bond probably wouldn't be involved in a high-speed chase with this car. It's not that she couldn't do it. There is a real V8 under that crazy hole-filled hood, after all, ported from the V8 Vantage. But in the extremely unlikely chance you come to own one, you're probably going to want to take care of it. I know I would at least, but James Bond might feel differently.